The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench.
We can sit on benches after we've solved.
You can revisit the bench if you ever need to pass the time.
Before you stands a motor carriage. Vapor emanates from the... This must be the infernal machine that tore you from... In the cabin, you are welcomed by a set of steering levers, a radio microphone on a hook. Pull the frequency tableau lights up, and the soft purr of electrical kittens.
This is Precinct 57.
Hello, Alice. Please assist our colleague from the 41st precinct here. I'm putting him on.
This is Officer Alice Demetri, Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Just a second, officer.
10-2, 10-5.
A scrawny old man sits in a dusty cubicle, smoking, with a large... The man uses relay code.
10-4, message received. 10-5, 10-18, state your message, sir. 10-9, over. 10-4, message received. This is a very serious situation.
Is it him? What does he want?
Says he lost his badge and needs to report it.
He what? He lost his badge?
Who lost his badge?
Dick fucking Mullen. Who do you...
It's Officer Dick Mullen from the bestseller Dick Mullen and the Lost...
Dick Mullen is not your name. It's the name of a... Defend yourself. Immediately. They're laughing at you.
10-4, I hear you, officer. I'm just going to make a note here that you are in pursuit of your misplaced badge.
Fuck me! Mac, come here! You've got...
What's going on?
Super copy!
He lost his badge. He lost his goddamn fucking badge.
10-9, come again. I didn't get that. Over.
New heights even for...
Ask him. Ask him if he's lost his...
Sergeant Orson wants to know if you lost...
Check your pockets. Check your... Holy fuck. You don't know where... No. It's...
10-9, come in, officer. Did you get my question? We were wondering about your gun. Over.
Lying over the phone, it's easy.
He says he didn't.
Thank God for that. That would have been a nightmare. Losing his badge is bad enough. Tell him to find it, and fast. We can...
We're all glad to hear you've not lost your gun, officer. You need further assistance? Over. Okay, 10-4, sir.
Wait. Before you say anything stupid, think it through. You're going to be looking at a straitjacket if you tell everyone.
10-4, sir. I'm not hearing your question.
What? What is it?
He wants to verify...
But of course, it says Dick Mullen. Hijack. Tell him to stop wasting time.
What do you need, sir? Over. 10-9, repeat message. I didn't get that, sir. Over.
What? What is it?
He seems intoxicated and keeps asking me to...
Mullen's drunk and emotionally aggressive.
Wrap it up. Don't indulge in his drunken antics.
Understood, sir. Over. 10-4, I hear you. I don't have...
What does he want now?
He's asking for money.
Is he fucking kid?
I don't think he is.
Don't give that asshole...
All right. That's a negative on the additional funds, sir. Over. He says it's important.
He isn't getting...
Request denied, sir. Over. He says he's in trouble.
Well,
Vigmar said... Anything else, sir? Over. Roger that. 10-10. Over and out.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist? It will take just a moment, officer.
Her voices fade out.
Gottlieb, what do you want?
He's carelessly chewing on a piece of hard candy.
There's no end to the misfortunes fate has seen fit. Who? You are? You lost your human visage a while back. Now let's get on with it. With all the damage you've been dealing yourself with drugs and alcohol. What else? I'm not a brain doctor.
It's hard to say if he doesn't believe you, or
What? You want me to do blood work for you again? Tell you just how bad things really are across the board? You want the real, honest-to-God truth? Stop drinking, eat magnesium and vitamin D.
So it's political. You're being neglected.
And no, I don't want to hear a political commentary on the topic. In fact, I got work to do. Some idiot has glued his eyelids shut with cyan.
It's not fucking cryo-actylate. It's super...
Anything else I can help you with, officer? Of course. What is the number, officer?
Yes, hold on.
Received. Hold on, officer.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi slowly begins to tap a little rhythm with his right.
Officer, I have Sylvie Malaika on the line for you. Yes, hello? Oh, right.
There is no resentment in her tone. She wants you to ask her out. No question about.
No, not me. What? Of course it bothered me. But I thought the union already knew about it. No one calls the police. The union would get angry. You know, what the union says goes. People listen to them and they take care of their own, which is like everyone here.
Legally, no. In reality, yes. Martinez is de facto...
Words are not necessary to feel the lieutenant's discontent for the situation.
I
Push her further. Show her the error of her ways.
I didn't know I had to report it. I thought someone would take him down a bit.
You can almost hear the girl getting smaller on the other end.
No.
It was someone else. We'll find them sooner or later, officer. It just might take a while.
Okay. You mean why did I leave the bar? Honestly?
Why not?
Let's just say I left because... What? No, why would you even think that? Please, don't bring Gar into this. I already said I don't want to talk about this. Yes, I know who you are. You're a police officer. Oh. No.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not. There are officers who wear the signature Perseus black uniforms to the highest ranks in the RCM and end up buried in them as well.
Please, no. Not this again. Everyone saw your cool gun detective. You were trying to impress some people with it. Everyone was eating and you were waving it around in everyone's face, begging them to describe it. You said it calms you, and then you started making suicide jokes. It got pretty graphic.
Oh, those again. I have been trying. You know, when you put your gun, your actual gun, on your temple and pretend to shoot your brains out, off of that, people don't like that.
No, please, no more suicide threats.
There are way more inventive ways than a gun to leave this world.
Me neither. No idea. All I know is next you were waving around money instead, saying things. It almost looked like you pawned it. But believe me, I did not ask. Uniform? I never saw you in any uniform. No, absolutely not. I do hope so. Please, don't call me again. Bye.
She doesn't have a problem with you. It must be someone else she's angry about. Some other guy. Like Gart. Trust me, you wouldn't want to be the guy here. You know how it is. No, you're the guy. You're Lieutenant Love, matchmaker extraordinaire. Help the poor girl. What misogyny? I'm just telling things the way you have to act, Lieutenant Love. You have to calm that hysteric down. Tell it you've got everything under control. Then go and have a little boy's talk with God himself. Think you can do that, Lieutenant Love?
No. What? Oh God. Please.
What? What is it?
Call was terminated by the other party. Anything else, officer?
It's on. The love quest is on. Too late, everyone. It's on. Take it to God now.
57th, over and out.
In the cabin, you see a set of steering levers, a radio on a hook. A metallic drawer slides out from under the seat and clicks into place. The tool.
Take what you need, officer. It's going to be a long case.
He's clearly a little protective of his tools. But what can you do? The pry bar feels nice and cold in your hand. Heavier, useful for opening all sorts of doors and lids. The handles are long and sleek. Snap, it's robust, weatherproof and well made. Lets you see things in the dark you would otherwise. The pull-out toolbox slides back into its nest. Preheater gauge castle. The white suede feels luxurious under the touch. And the metal clutch handle, as you tap on the gauge, the indicator pin jerks as if startled. It's in the...
There's no use pressing the heat button. It won't start without the ignition.
Translation. With alternative translation. Don't even think. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in rags. This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says, whirling in. This trash container is locked. Force time isn't happening. You've jammed the pry bar under the lid, but it just isn't bending. There's a creaking sound as the pry bar slips under the lid. You hang from it like a...
The quality of metal is not the problem. From what I see, it's sturdy enough. Let's ask the manager for the key. This is clearly not working.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eye. There he still is, looking right. The smell is repulsive. It pushes in from your mouth, more instant. You feel a great force ringing from your stomach until a pool of vomit lies under your feet and your throat.
It's okay. Happens to everyone. Keep it. The hangover is clearly making this worse for you. You could use some ammonia to clear your head. If you can handle the headache. Some officers use it to deal with cadaverine odor. I can't handle the headache.
It's more likely he can handle the smell, unlike you.
There's the fruit nearby. Maybe they have some in their apothecary. There's a greenhouse here, and a gardener with a wheelbarrow on the corner of the whirling in rags. If she works here, she might have...
Acquiring ammonia will provide a modifier to the white check. Modifiers make checks easier.
Hello again, officer. Sure, I'm done with it. Go easy on that stuff. It gave me a terror.
There he still is, looking right through you with his white eyes. The body below is entirely dedicated. You crack open the ammonia ampoule and breathe in. The odor of death is still stronger. It's a spell of the mind telling you to run, and you...
They do after 7 days, yes.
The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and enameled boots. His skin is greenish, marbled with decaying veins and blotched. The material appears to be ceramic. Its clean white stands in stark contrast to the decaying flesh above the knee. The delicate and fragile. They feel alien. These are clearly not boots. They're armor, possibly part of a larger set.
Indeed. Technically speaking, these are sabatons, not boots. Ceramic plate, zirconium dioxide under the heel. Fair weather, Fairweather model T500VE. I'm guessing that's Vitreous enamel.
A small bell-like sound fills the air. The pry bar in your hand is itching for some action.
It's anything but. This material is a kinetic redistributor. It spreads kinetic energy.
Faint, organic lines cover the plates where they separate into smaller ones, like whirls of floorboards. The design looks organic, influenced by highly resistant wood materials, like lignum vitae and ebony perhaps. If trees were made of porcelain, this is what their cross-section, the smooth, glossy surface, fractures into ever more intricate interconnections. The whirls are in the shape of a letter and number combination, E50, 100.
Good. Can you read it to me? We have a make and a number. That's something. We can use the radio in my kinema when we're done. Either station can chase it for us. That's for us to find out. My initial report on the area suggests he was a security guard for the hall. I agree. This equipment is way beyond what a guard... It is. It's expensive. We've requested similar material for our tactical units for years now. The constabularies deemed it too costly. For a full set, about 4 years.
For the northwest region of Revachol, an officer's average yearly income is 5,500 real, unadjusted.
Not too much, yes. It's a sorry situation, I agree. Piece by piece. He's been out here for 7 days. We should keep a lookout for these pieces. The armor could yield information. Maybe he'll know something. No, he must have worn something precious underneath his clothes. They've removed all his clothes to get to it. They did not just strip him for the putrid rags. Someone could have cleaned the yard, but that...
I hear you, cop, talking shit about the Kuno. Come here and say it's a Kuno's. You wanna fuck me, huh? You wanna fuck the Kuno?
They usually hang them completely naked for that.
What? Are you trying to...
Kuno, this boots shit is super boring, and the guy's a total Victopaz.
This feels dangerous. Are you sure? The stench fills your nostril.
Stop! Pig's gonna pull his head off.
Brutal!
You're about to pull his head off.
Do it, homo!
Pull his head off. There's no point performing an autopsy if you...
Indeed. From this angle, it does look like the neck isn't going to take much.
What are you trying to achieve anyway? Why are you hanging on to that boot? You do understand the boots are steeped in cadaverine odor, don't you? There's no way you're getting them off. All the organic matter in his body has been flowing...
You're sure there's a way to peel them off? But first, the body needs to be down. And second, it would probably be better if the lieutenant wasn't around. All right then. You can pay the hostel bill in honor points. How many?
Processing will take care of that. With the situation in the morgue, it will yield nothing. But we must pick our fights.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt. His torso cut. The hangman's knot is pulled tight by the weight of the corpse below. Yellow, hard-edged polyester cuts in two. This is a steel-reinforced cargo lashing belt. Big brother of the regular cargo belt. It's used for tying...
Airlifting. I thought it was used on lorries for strapping cargo to them. The local harbor uses 6 rotors to shuffle containers around. I get the sense they use whatever was on hand, without paying much attention to not incriminating themselves. I'm still approaching this as a lynching, yes, motivated by the ongoing strike. You? 70% of the cases I get are just filling in the blanks on the initial report. This belt worries me. I was afraid it would be. Thin steel wiring, parallel strands. This makes getting him down more problematic than a noose is one of those things that's easier to use one way around. That ladder can't carry a grown man. I didn't see any splintering either, did you? I think they lassoed the branch.
Could be. The shape of the branch supports the theory. The cadaver hangs from the cargo belt. An intricate web of blue lines stretches across the torso, from the right shoulder to the solar plexus. Each time they intersect, his corpse is marked by star, alcohol, and heartbreak.
A map of the stars. I do see some similarity to astronomical charts. Great century Messinian, maybe. But this seems more particular. Customized.
As if someone left out most of the night sky, filtering it through personal choice. The principle of this filter remains
So am I.
He takes a thin piece of milled aluminium from his coat pocket and pulls it open.
A Trigger Sunshine.
Trigger is the world's leading manufacturer of intercommunication devices.
Shit, Kuno!
An instant color camera. I have only 2 ampoules, so nobody move. I don't want to waste one.
A sound, a shrill flash, followed by the breaking of a small ampoule of glass. You see streams of color pour onto the thick, glossy piece of paper, rolling out.
In case we need it. Yes, it is pretty cool, isn't it? It contains insight to the victim's person. By his build, I'd say this was a man of physical violence. The story he wanted his body to tell was important to him. It is his letter, to us. Someone should decipher it. We'll need to show it around. Here, a souvenir. Don't lose it.
The glassy-eyed corpse looks by, his mouth mute and his skin as colorful.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by...
His eyes are milky white and blind to the world. Protruding comically from this, dark brown hair grows on his head. His face is ready to explode from the organic processes inside. The death's head grin has passed. What remains is the corpse is dead silent. You have no idea why.
Who is he? He is male, 40 to 50, with an athletic build.
The corpse looks right through you as you narrow your eyes. This is a trick. You've done it before. Pink is where the blood settled in the first hours post-mortem. You can use it. Only the lower extremities are pink with a dash of blue. His fatted hands, thighs, and his neck.
I see it. His neck too. The lividity goes right up his chin. We have good, well-pronounced Disco.
The monster comes back into focus. An explosion of color, coursing with dark marbled veins.
So, what do you think? Agreed, especially on the neck. The belt acted like a tourniquet, keeping the blood in his head. The hypostasis supports her hanging. Everything here seems to corroborate that assumption, but we should still get him down before assigning a probable cause of death.
A pool of blood and feces has eaten into the frozen mud below them.
The victim appears to have contained no more than half a kilogram of...
The fuck he say?
Talking about shit.
Malicious laughter erupts in...
Big...
The lieutenant's face is made of stone.
I do. Most of them are post-mortem. Maybe even all of them. The delinquents have made our jobs harder with their little sport.
Stop talking in riddles.
It means you fucked him up good, Kuno. Fucked him up brutal-like.
But there is no breath to catch. Only the cadaver filling the air.
Are you sure we finished the preliminary examination of the cadaver? We might miss some of these things once he's done.
The cadaver slowly twists on the cargo belt, his torso covered in... An intricate web of blue lines stretch. It still kind of looks like a map of the stars in the night. Gone. For you to discover. You've gotten as far as you will without assistance. Someone who knows about history could tell you. The dented yellow mailbox.
Life doesn't need to be a... I'll be with you in a moment, officer. Let me just finish.
Have you no shame? Whining about your back, yep?
Honey, you're a man with a fork in a world of soup. Please.
I'm trying to, but you keep breaking my concentration. You're...
These manly men are playing balls. This is a ball game. Grab a ball and play it. No, you've got this. There's the ball. You're the game. This felt wrong. Wrong like touching your sister's breast.
Mon Dieu! Good job!
There are no two more harmful words an athlete can hear than good job. And this was downright embarrassing. Your muscle memory knew what to do and went for it. But there were gaps. It felt like you were going for a thrust or a lunge. There was definitely gonna be jumping. Maybe you scored a point.
What are you talking about? You just execute...
How are you ever going to get the officer's shit off your nose, Gaston? Or even climb out of his ass? Right. Was it demonstrated?
Yes, officer. What do we need from the gentleman?
Unfortunately, I don't. Unlike most of the locals, I have no qualms about in Martinez. The union is the law. So can you... Cop is a pejorative term. I don't have a problem with policemen.
He doesn't know about the crime. Your time is better spent discussing politics.
I'm confident they are indispensable in regard to all the paperwork and other administrative duties. No man can afford to turn his eyes to the horizon if his rear isn't secured. If the women folk take care of that, then men can tackle the bigger issues.
The RCM doesn't discriminate. Women are held to the same standards as men. Unlike men, they also have to deal with the very same mentality you two are displaying.
I'm glad at least some people keep a level head in these turbulent times. That's what you need, Gaston.
René. Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance on this fine day? Let me think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. No, officers, I'm sorry.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar.
He means caviar socially.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything.
Odd. He doesn't seem to be lying, but there's some...
I'm not.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of union prick he can't even...
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone impotent in the Union. I just know... Evrard Claire. Everyone in Martinez...
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only...
The old soldier mumbles. There he stands, proud.
Let's try not to get caught in a...
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is ancient.
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings? Oh, yes. Not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote or a membership card.
So that's what it was before. Him hiding something. He tries to make it look like he doesn't know anything.
Of course he's not a member. He's not a member of anything. I hate the socialist rabble. But even siding with them is better than living your...
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he... Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just as...
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda.
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself. Officer, I have a vivid imagination.
He just fluffs it.
Of course. Don't sink into anything. Don't sink into any fight. Only sink into your couch.
I prefer highly adaptable myself.
Oh, mon Dieu.
No, thank you. For being consummate, I'm sorry, officer, but I really don't share food.
The only one you have.
Oh, that's good. That's very good. You must have other business then?
An intricate web of... It still kind of looks like a... For you to discover. Someone who knows about history could tell you.
It is such a pleasure to see you again, officer. How may I head the citizens' militia on this fine day? Oh, the goal is to throw you bull. That's the cochonnet. Well, first, you draw a circle about a half a meter in diameter. We made ours out of... Then, the players aim to throw their bulls as close to the cochonnet as possible. I could, but I'd rather not. You'll put that knowledge to good use in...
I don't like where this is going, officer. Don't you think we should do something else now?
typical Martinez streetlight sits among assorted floor. The light pole has been carefully cut, and the wiring has... This would make quite a statement in your living room.
Yes, officer. As you see, it was brought to me.
We are not here to investigate the theft of city property. You have to admit it's rather clever what he's done with it.
The boomboxes on the shelf look well loved and well traveled. Chipped, then one especially catches your eye. Deep, this is you. Golden or just make sure it works before you buy it.
If police work means playing tapes, sure. You can. Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech. Found sound is the Harman Welshie W2. Made in Vespa. Designed in Seoul.
You see rows of toy soldiers guarding the rest of the trinkets displayed. Try to find something pretty and cool here. Then use it to win over. Yes. Buy something nice. A figurine. Everything you pick out seems faded, chipped, and sad somehow. They're not all blue. These figurines also wear gold coats and caps, complemented by orange trousers. They are variously posed.
Which one? Ah, royalist soldiers from the time of the revolution. The uniforms.
This set of soldiers isn't meant to look impressive. A few have rifles, but most of them.
You're probably talking about the revolution. I think their poverty has been exaggerated for effect. When you place them next to the royalists, it doesn't seem like they could possibly win. I don't like either set very much, to be honest. But there are many parents among... It's not often that I see officers from the RCM. What can I do?
His courtesy is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
I haven't had any problems myself.
Who are your customers?
All kinds of people come through here. Local. As you can see, I have a wide selection of goods for everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
Entertained? He might be high. If he is, on what? Feeling warm and enthralled by the movement of light, while the mind continues to race forward. Lucky bastard. He's probably on Prolidone. It's tough to come by on the street. A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects, and it makes your eyes turn yellow.
Why on earth? These are prescription. I can't really see without them. Prolidone is just something I was with the emergency relief.
He's taking for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the I lived by the river since I was a small boy. The Esperance didn't have the art to let it all go. There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years. A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved. There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it. So much disappointment. An early death. No one's.
So much
A bunch of poor people built themselves a prep. The clean-up happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this so I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole. I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown. I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I doubt it, but I can try and answer any. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of.
He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same.
This is a pawn shop, and it did feel as if you've met before. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were and I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the chart, she didn't seem like a policeman. Although she kept referring to herself as truth be told.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the citizens' militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it? Yeah, it's not good. I do hope we manage to clean this mess up somehow, while also keeping our foot.
My apologies, officer.
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it now. You just have to hope you luck up.
Of course. Have you tried it before?
The lieutenant steps away, pretending to admire some of. Go ahead then, he thinks. As long as you can walk straight, I don't care. He won't be your knock, but he won't be thrilled about this either.
If you say, here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Parolidon. Straight into your...
Of course. Sure thing. Sure, man. Let me have a look. Oh, no. I don't like those aphotic paths. Counter-radiance network.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but...
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
Yes?
G'day to you.
A burly man hangs out by the waterlock, carving up a generous serving of salami with an old hunter's knife. His eyes are fixed on a man stranded on the other side.
I wasn't here to witness it, but those look like tire tracks on that sign.
The words, Daredevil.
Too bad it also takes a year and a day to repair anything around here, especially a waterlock. The rest of... Well, there's the fishing village, an abandoned fish market, a bizarre... Yeah, not really much else. Sure thing. Want some too, officer?
Why not?
A couple of indicator lights are missing from this control panel. Loose wires down. This panel usually closes the waterlock, turning it into a bridge that lets you pull the lever all the way up until the metal clip. Nothing happens. Nothing happens. A cold gust of wind. A spring brings the lever back to its original position. You still need to close the water lock to get across the canal. Some other way. Wasn't there a sign over there saying functionality will be restored on Wednesday? You pull the lever all the way. Nothing happens. A spring bring. Wasn't there a... A crumpled billboard reading, Samaran butter soaks in the canal. Two ugly lines mar the bright countenance of the blonde. Judging by the size of the impact and the parallel lines of burnt rubber, the cause was probably a motor vehicle. Side slip marks indicated that the vehicle was traveling up the crater at 35 kilometers an hour. The black marks on the roof indicate that the vehicle vaulted. The panel served as a takeoff ramp. The vehicle soared through the air, hitting the billboard and upsetting them. The sign broke the vehicle's fall. The Samaran butter billboard still looks freshly painted within the past 72 hours. Still speeding, the vehicle made a loop and vanished into the fog. There are two good candidates. The Caprice, it's about the right size. And the tire marks, the Caprice 40 is a very popular model with bank clerks, topping pie, very sturdy but light motor carriage. The Linear G22 is not a particularly popular model. You'd have to follow the tracks to be sure. The lieutenant looks on. Wait.
Any theories about what happened here? What kind of car do you think it was? That's quite likely, from what I can tell. Oh. The traffic hooliganism? I hope not. Fortunately, we are not traffic cops. Should we get back to the murder? If we must.
I'm not expecting him to get far with this, the lieutenant. There's a pile of cheap sunglasses.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles right here.
These are all boring. Boring, third-rate ho-hum. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything...
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, superb material, very cool. UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work.
No luck. All you find is this lime-colored cellophane
Oh! That visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. Bang! You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. No problem. Let's get you some real shades.
You see a Samaran street vendor surrounded by a motley assembly. The name, Sileng, is...
Happy shopping, officer! Everything's cool. The goods are cool. You're very cool. Bang, 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 bang! You're right, officer. 100%. No playing around then. Strictly business. Maybe I can interest you in some premium menswear instead. Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely good joke, officer!
You glance around the decrepit buildings, the miserable...
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
It is, yes. Anyone can set up...
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so...
If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we are here to protect the interests of...
My man, officer, you make all this possible.
Gossamer is a fine, filmy substance consisting of cobwebs spun by small spiders. seen especially in autumn. It's safe to say he's referring to the near absence of regulations.
Hyper cool. I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources. Buy. No need for discounts at ceilings, officer.
But did he first mark them up 100%, just so that he could put them on sale?
My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work anything for you.
No need to dress this one up. Just tell him what you want.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? But officer, bribe you to do what?
I don't think you really understand how bribes work, detective.
Sorry, detective. Me? It's a boring story, officer.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
Very cool. I like.
You see two lowly, defeated speakers, thralls, slaves basically, perched atop them like conquerors surveying the land. A pair of found, durable wear sneakers, ultra serious.
I can see you but taste for luxury, officer. Can't keep your eyes off those.
A pair of found ultras. The design is
Those sneakers, mister. Those sneakers are the latest found sneakers.
only found ultra. Wear the future. You remember the slogan from some magazine. These once respectable speakers have been conquered.
No, don't look at the speakers, officer. Look at the sneakers. These, officer? These speakers are Samaran garbage. I'm ashamed to even use them for
Samaran trash. That sounds like they're from the Samaran People's Republic, produced under the dictatorship of the proletariat.
No way, officer. These aren't for sale. They're bad speakers. Low-fi well, if you want. But see, they are the pedestal for my sneakers. If on the other hand, you wanted to buy the sneakers too.
Damn, so you have to buy the There are clothes inside. Cheap.
Don't be shy. These are premium class clothes. Good quality.
Save the economy. That sounds off.
Haven't you heard, officer? We've got to be economically conscious. Recycle your cash, keep it in circulation. Don't buy. Look around, officer. You see all these premium goods? Is this really the economy we want to leave to our children? That's good, officer. That's it.
You find your hands deep in tattered and faded garments made from weird polyester blends that make your body itch.
Economical, but also trendy. Look first-hand, buy second-hand. Keep the economy moving.
Something cold grazes your hand. Synthetic and sleek. A windbreak.
Good choice, officer. Mega sporty. And it's only $4.50 for you, sir.
gander and a hunter and a gatherer.
A simple little cadence. He seems to be making it up as he goes.
From another planet. Hey there. It's the jam, my man.
It's a traffic jam for the ages. Harbor gates up the street are shut tight. No explanation given. Workers on strike. Meanwhile, we're all stuck here in long-haul limbo for days upon days upon... Feels like forever. Like I was born on this here roundabout and this was all I ever knew. Just me and the metal and the tires, the oil. Everyone's a critic, man. It's okay. So tell me, what do you need? He ain't one of us drivers. I know that. All accounted for. Otherwise, I haven't really asked about that. Been wasting time right here.
It's easy to see he's telling the truth. He's kept his nose out of the dark stuff.
Analyzing the fundamental structural and psychological conditions of being stranded in the midst of a sea of motor lorries and their sad, despondent chauffeurs. A sense of surprise there ain't more bodies hanging from more trees. Oh, high-grade narcotic.
Relax. He's merely joking.
Can't even get a few jokes past you, my man. I've got another haul of found cargo. They usually get shipped to Grad in the Occident, though we've been making headway in the Il Moran market lately. We're pals and all, but I can't just freely hand out the merchandise. The bosses won't be this rockin' beauty. Sure is, like a rash you can't get rid of.
A motor lorry, also called a camion, on Caillou and neighboring islands. This one looks roughed up enough to be some sort of found rust.
Good eye, my man. Yup, she's an old one, but reliable. Me and her spent a long time together. Not unless they've illegalized sports equipment while I was on the road.
The man taps his fingers rhythmically against his arm.
Huh? Oh. No, I ain't got any money. They don't want to pay for the bosses, man. Makes sense. It sucks is what it does. It's like whatever's going on over at the docks. Workers got a blockade set up, making demand. Some pretty wild stuff I hear. Like a giant new power crane. I've heard talk there's a company rep in town too. Like a strike
Ah, yes, from the Wild Pines. We'll meet her soon enough, I'm sure.
They want to keep that money flowing in, my man. Ka-ching.
He doesn't blame them, but he's not on their side. That's for sure.
Anything else? Yeah, this ain't really my area of expertise. I just do my job and get us lorry drivers, camionneurs. You still hang around here waiting for this mess to end. Most have scurried off somewhere to get drunk or high. Not my thing. Chasing transient pleasures is a drag these days.
What's better than chasing transient pleasures? The more transient, the better. When one...
Don't be a stranger.
address is coming up blank, but you've been at this hostel cafeteria for only 3. You don't really know, do you? A vague, blackened image doesn't sound like somewhere you can stay if you run out of money. You can try. Run some addresses in your head when you get the time. Maybe that sugary black rum stain on the counter makes you teary-eyed with joy. It's almost touching how syrupy and sticky it is. An hour would have been bad. 2 hours is mystical. You have truly wiped out all trace of yourself if you haven't thought about rum and lemonade yet. Maybe later? What is this? Casual Friday? What's with the lack of date? What happened, man? You used to be get your drink on and your act together. You should totally sing karaoke here, the first chance you get. Your emotions need to be expressed. People need to know your vast oceanics utterly through a PA by other people. You should sing the sad small church song from that tape you found. Thought, no, don't sing the happy song. You would need another copy of the tape first, though. The one upstairs is destroyed. Who is mistakenly identified as a cop for his prominent jawline? Yes, sounds likely. You should probably go on stage.
Can I help you? Mine? No, it belongs to...
Thank you for clearing that up.
Why? To keep the hobos and drunk...
I thought as much. And
Well, yes.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something's prod at him and find out.
Callous? What are you? Krasmazov? Almost all establishments in Revachol...
Krasmazov, nom de guerre, was an economist and a historical materialist. He was a leading figure on the Grad side of the Centennial Revolution.
No one was implying you were, officer.
What do you need them?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please. What thing? Yes, not the whole damn union, thank God. They come here in the evenings. Dumb, unruly types.
We should find out who this Lord faction is, occupying the booth. Loudness means talkative, and we need him. We don't. We have to wait. They'll show up sooner or later. Men get hungry, even striking men. If not today, then they'll be here tomorrow.
There are these things called days. You sleep...
What?
By the way, you should come back to this thing-based questionnaire if you see anything interesting in the whirling later.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. In the question. Your body is ready, sire.
Yes, have you got it? A lot. For the drinks and broken window. Like what? I was rarely enjoying talking about the money you owe me. God.
Oh, but he should be. Lay it on him. Of course you do. This was your plan all along.
Wonderful.
It is. It's wonderful.
What? What does that mean? Cock carousel. God, does it mean you talked to her?
What else do you need? The man leans his hands on.
She broke the bird, you know. The great skewer. I should have known. It was her way of telling me to piss off.
Or you broke the bird. It can also be that. Yes, the bird is connected to this. It's a symbol of hope, and she broke it.
Huh. Cock carousel. I think I understand now. That's what they ride. They ride the cock carousel until the clock runs out. Here, have the rest. Now, let me have a drink and think about this shit for a moment.
And there we have it. A thin man is smoking below an exhaust hood. Okay, as you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely... Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him Garanzi. The man puts his cup down and replies something. He smiles, and it's almost like music, especially with... You see a heavy steel door. You immediately feel drawn. The cobalt blue surface feels rough to touch.
You do? It's a door in the back of the kitchen. Why do you care where it leads? Eccentric. But okay, I suppose we could look into it. As a side investigation. If you say so, Gart is the person to ask about this. The cafeteria manager.
Can I help you? Another thing. Great. Oh, yes, that door. Sure. There's nothing... No, I don't have a key. I don't know how to get there. And I don't care either. Or some boring storage space with a bunch of...
He's attempting to maintain an air of indifference. It's absolute...
Fine, okay. A little. But my job doesn't leave me... So, I haven't opened it. I have cleaned the whole place 100 times over, though. After the anim... Yes?
You see a heavy steel. The door does not budge. This trash container is with a well-oiled crack. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't. There is, but you won't like it. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are among the threadbare kitchen towels, as the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin...
The victim's clothes? Cadaver in odor is faint. Drop them in here, officer. Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty. Or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. The belt is missing. That's it.
Something slimy catches your eye. A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it.
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. A yellow old mug that catches your eye.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked and this establishment had the key.
The fuck's he on about? Kids? You hear that, Kuno?
See?
The lieutenant nods. It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and nothing. What's this? A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but...
Officer, is that your paperwork? Yes, it is. Look. This plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You even got an autopsy form. If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash? What are you talking about? Doeth thou also thorough inventories? You should take stock of your notes. Make sure it's all there. Official notes contain informants' names. If some of it has fallen into the hands of the RCM's adversaries, it would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory.
You pick out a broken mug with an oddly racist depiction of the Yellow Man, only in its social sensibility. The container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. The container sounds a muffled gong. The man before you is naked, but for a pair of underpants and white boots. His skin The man before you is naked, but for a pair of... The man before you is naked.
I'm gone. Into the wild, in the past. I'm a joke. Look at me. There is nothing funny. A killer. Go ahead, Coppo. What do you mean? It's the power of your imagination. Go ahead. Ask me more questions. Because you're a copperoonie. Look at all of them go. Do you want? Here you go, you loony. Fuck no. You're no Rooney. Between you and me, your name is probably... You might be onto something there. Fuck no. No, you don't. Between you and me. Fuck. Between you and me. Good for you. Because you have... Do I remind you?
A child born with Muller's disease, harlequinism, grown up miraculously.
You sure I got out of that one? Go. Do I
A child born...
No, not quite. Sure I do. Come back later, Corpo. Amuse yourself with my frank manners and my memento mori feature. Of course, you have I'm a joke. Look, a killer. Go ahead, Corpo. Because your lost Corpo Dopo would have been so... Because coming right up, Corpo Rooney. Love did me in, brother Corpo. It was love all along. Sure, Lobo. Looking at my face, motionless, looking into my eyes, standing here. Why are you investigating my murder? You're a lying sack of shit, Corpo. You're doing this because there is nothing else to do. Sure, looking at my face, I am all you have. Then you truly lost it all, brother. Let the world... Sure, looking at my face.
Something is on its way. Something hidden. It's coming. A miracle from the northwest, and it's almost hit.
Do I remind?
A child born with Muller's disease.
You sure I got out? Come back later, Corpo.
The steel-reinforced belt presents a unique challenge. I brought chain cutters, but I don't...
He doesn't actually think the challenge is unique. He thinks it's frustrating.
The cadaver is a good 1.2 meters up. Neither one of us can reach the belt without assistance. And even if we do, there's the question of cutting the airship strength material. Someone else? You mean...
What was that about processing, then? Weren't they supposed to take care of the boots?
No. Think of the boys from processing as murderers. Only instead of people, they murder crime scenes. Processing is a I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. And we have a growing sanitary concern here. We need someone else.
What was that about?
Someone already did. You know who came? We did. Because we have made bad life. I know it's hard, but I assure you, the others won't come to help us. Climb up there and there has to be a less risky way. With less falling down of trees.
Yeah! Bang bang time, pig! Shoot his head off!
How?
Where the buckle ties the rope to the branch. That's a good spot to aim.
Where? Ah, yes, I see.
Yeah, now we're talking.
They'll miss! The pigs will miss Kuno!
I'll blow his head off.
Take it!
Yeah, take the shot!
Silence. With his and produces a lightweight firearm. He drops a paper cartridge in the barrel, separates the scouring stick, and gives the cartridge 5 tucks. That's a Kiel A9090 armistice. He then steps back and assumes the fellow's desk position.
He's gonna fucking...
The kid's voice is drowned in a shrill blast that echoes off the walls of the...
God damn it.
Fucking idiot!
Kuno could have hit it easy, but then Kuno's not fucking handicapped, is he? Kuno's sorry too. Kuno feels...
The lieutenant doesn't say a word, just looks at the gun in his hand.
Kuno's sorry...
The lieutenant...
No, we are lucky as it is. We didn't break anything, and the victim remains uncompromised. Any more mistakes could put us in an unfortunate position with the locals. We have eyes on us. I have to say, it's beginning to look unlikely we can get him down without assistance. It's bad as it is, us shooting firearms like punks. Go ahead, I'm not stopping you. Just don't lose.
I only have one...
This is the sorriest...
Yeah, take it, you fucking banana boyka! Take it!
The cold piece of bakelite and gunmetal.
The fuck are you waiting for,
The buckle comes...
Why don't you just shoot yourself in your mouth? At least you won't miss. Or what? You gonna fuck me? You wanna fuck me, pig? Is that what this is about?
Your field of view narrows. The slow movement of the branch in the wind.
Look, he's crying. You gonna cry now, fucking faggoty? Do it! Set me free!
You feel as though it would be dangerous.
Don't.
Do it! Put it right here, Mulko! Right here!
Intense shit, copper.
Could waved his gun! It wasn't intense, it was pathetic!
A plume of smoke erupts from the barrel. Your hand goes numb from the... You missed the belt, but hit the corpse straight in the chest. Bits of ribcage protrude from the skin. No blood, only a murky sludge dripping down.
Oh my god, he's gonna fucking cry! I knew it! What a mulko!
It feels dry. Nothing comes out of you as you stretch and bend your face into a crying shape. The lieutenant watches you jerk some tears, your shoulders shaking and your eyes.
You malolta! Can't even cry!
The lieutenant gently picks his gun from your...
We still need to get him down, somehow. The bad way. The way I didn't want us to. By asking the harbor for help. They have the tools and the men. If they put him up there, they can take him down too. To ask the suspect for help with the victim's body? To be indebted to Evrard Clare? Clearly we can't.
Suck my dick, bitches!
He's a dangerous and corrupt man. And
Yeah? Don't go being someone else's bitches. You're Kuno's bitches.
from the gates, by negotiating or fighting. Or we can try the secret route we found, where your cloak is. It looked...
To the gates. Let's sneak. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made. There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? It's a metaphor. Below the pathetics? Terror. Do not. It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want. If you want it to be kitchen tissue. It's not though. It's toilet paper. Still wet, the toilet paper, I mean kitchen tissue, sorry, peels off the plastic easily. An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It is similar to the RCM watermark on your blazer the lieutenant mentioned. Didn't he say something about the headlights of his motor carriage? That you can read?
What? Yes, halogen watermark used for adding information to RCM property. It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number.
Maybe yours will have how many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have
any capable light with the right wavelength. Yes, RCM vehicles have headlights tuned especially to reveal halogen.
This means you can read the watermarks. If
okay.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your... They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol and covered in dense blue hand. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100. Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51. This year, the exact number is the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. 2? That's a lot. I didn't mean to say you are making mistakes, by the way. That was presumptuous of me. It's okay. We all make mistakes.
Like a fan of girls, the checkered papers dry in your hand. The handwriting is extremely dense, if mostly illegible. Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from, yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Others appear more light-hearted. The guy's on a couch in an unexpected location, and it's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them.
You mean the alphanumeric? Officer, precinct, time of arrival at the scene? Oh, you mean the titular? Yes, well, so do I. It's a holdover from the early days of the RCM, right after the revolution, when the organization had little idea how to do things. It persists in an unofficial... Again, in your defense, I seem to have named one the man with the hole in his head. That was a real person. I pray his loved ones never find out. Rail spiked through the head. He died. It was a workplace accident.
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end, once all the tasks are accomplished. The Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pen onto the paper with a brash free hand, uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. Inspect the victims, get the interview the cafe. It's not exactly poetry, but a satisfying slash sounds across the page. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for...
No, actually. Any ideas? Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
You don't exactly close them so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now. Yes, you can piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin. It always begins with HDB41. Why, yes, your every last alphanumeric in the files begins with it. And these are your case files. It's safe to say feeling is probably for the best, because HDB feels like it takes about half an hour to piece one together using the system you've devised. Where do you want to start? It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square... That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, all you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. Who knows? Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun. This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, cause of failure. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man, true love is possible, only in the next world. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lectures have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but the case files do not show you find. The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins, a staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority, and that love truly is possible in the next world for new people, and it is too late for us. No one cares what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger. What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done? AKA Leslie and Burke, AKA the public indecency drunk and the property damage drunk, is a cursed case. It has been passed from unsuspecting officer to unsuspecting officer for 10 years. On January 29, you were so drunk you didn't remember what it was when you... Leslie will always take his pants off when he's drunk. Burke will always trash everything. It's just what they do. It is their nature. You kept the only way for Leslie to stop flashing his genitals to bypassers and for Burke to stop dismantling signage and rear-view mirrors would be for them to stop drinking alcohol, which, in their 40s or 50s, it's hard to tell because of their distorted features, threatening fines, dragging them to the station, locking them up in the hellholes they live in, locking them up in the station, hypnotherapy. Even, it's plain to see from the files that you, Satellite Officer JV, and Special Consultant TH, had more important cases to attend to. You uncover good, you're learning. If the files are to be trusted, that's all there is to it. That and Burke breaking things, and the fact that they're both drunk. But then again, so are you. The case becomes considerably less comic one day when Burke takes a swing at your ledger. He must have it confused with the property he likes to damage. But the joke's on him. You're drunk out of your mind. In the process, the ledger sustains damage. The compartment within, reserved for permeable documents, is jammed shut. You stop your assault on the now unconscious Burke to open it, but are unable to do so. The officer began to cry, reports Leslie, who, at this point, is tending to Burke. He came at us, and at us. I think he was trying to kill Burko. While trying to kill Burko, you slowly come around. The permeables can't get out of his apartment, an invalid. With Burke to tend to, Leslie cuts back on the indecent exposure. Maybe he flashes his, which is also why the officer responsible narrowly escapes a disciplinary hearing. The end. Do you want to read another one? Some assholes brought their couch outside and hung out on it. In the middle of the street, on the roof, on the hillside by the motor. Insufferable dicks. Young people are the worst. So anyway, they were leaving it out in all these unexpected and whimsical locations. They took it to where they also took photos of themselves. Cigarette butts, coffee cups, stupid couch. You had to clean it all up. And you didn't have time for that. These notes show that you have what is called a real goddamn job. You don't have time to be chasing down the couch assholes. You have a real job to do. What next? Murder. Tum-tum-tum at the hookah parlor was a case originally assigned to an officer called Joseph, beaten to death by a throng of Villalobos gang members when him and his partner J.M., only initials mentioned, answered a call. Joseph Mills was on this case that he just couldn't solve, was doing it solo, said it was a real nutcracker, a real brain twister, was on it for, like, a month. The Mills didn't get off the pot. Not yet. He kept at it for a couple of weeks more, racking his brains. No, he was awful. Awful sense of humor, too. The worst jokes you've ever heard. Really rapey. Still, he'd been on it for months now. Said it was, okay, so the case is handed to you because Mills isn't getting anywhere, and you look into it. Here's the setup. A young man is found dead. Yeah. So anyway, young man in his 20s found with his skull busted open, right on the floor of the hookah parlor, in the middle of the day. No one enters, no one exits. He's just sucking on his watermelon hookah all morning, all noon, like he usually does. He's a regular. Mills has no idea. Invisible assassin, movie deal gone sour. Girl at the counter did it. Nothing fits. Eerie. Man just dropped. See? You can't even read the thing without solving it. Yeah, it was that. Turns out hookah does do something. It turns off your brain's oxygen supply. And smoking hookah. Didn't you hear? I don't know. Trying to come up with a movie script, maybe. Anyway, that was Murder at the Hookah Parlor. Not much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the arson. Petty you don't exactly close them. So it takes about half an hour to piece one together. Using the system, not much has changed in the meanwhile. In the back, you see thin, translucent copy of paper. Some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These then rip them from the binder, and 3. The topmost are misconduct fines. The middle one, you don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work. A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. But they appear pleasantly vague. These are quite sinister in tone. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct. A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of it. Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest, it's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and blue. The blue heart. Don't look. Something rattles inside. Ever's permeables. It's not hidden per se. The compartment, the plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but with your hands, U4 sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board. Is not what you end up doing. You squeeze the plastic to... The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess, suddenly afraid of you. The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint... It's just a racist mug. What's there to read? Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage? But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see... It's the ledger you found in the trash, a cabbage of papers hanging from the board, with the permeables drawer inside. It's barely held together by a clip, then made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner. It's the ledger you found in the trash. Just relax. The two sides of the board are slightly misaligned. The slides snap back into place. Without resistance, two ticket stubs and a handmade post. Two octopuses are smiling, reaching their tentacles toward each other in the colored pencil drawings. The ticket's thin wax paper has been glued to a piece of cardboard. Sounds like leaves rustling when you pick. It smells of chewing gum. A touch of cinnamon. The end of summer. You think familiar handwriting lines the inside. A young woman in her 20s. There is care, effort, and Harry, it begins. You're already reading. I wanted to write you a letter. Your hand shakes, holding the card. Every morning when I step out, every step I take, it grows. By the time I reach the fuel station, it has filled me entirely. I step onto the light rail and look back. Sparks fall from the bow collector. You. Every step I take will get lighter. It almost makes me run. Sometimes I do. Kisses, kisses, kisses. You feel the air sucked out of your lungs and the blood sucked out of your head. You feel the ledger slip from your hand. No. Hold on. To what?
Detective, is everything all right?
There is nothing. Again. Nothing sad, brother. Well, that's me. Who is it? Bloated corpse of the past resurfacing. Beautiful. Bloated corpse. Bloated. Don't prod at it. You think that... Yes.
Its lit glowing lights on a dashboard emerge out of nothingness. In the upholstered cabin of Lieutenant Kitsuragi's motor carriage, seated in the driver's basket, the air is thick with leatherworks and heavy fuel oil. Cold water runs down your chin.
Drink. Water.
The water is cold, silvery, the stuff of life itself, as it pours down.
Drink. You haven't drunk water in 2 days. Did you know the...
With greedy gulps, you down half a liter of cold water.
What happened? You were reading your paperwork. Then you passed out. 10 minutes, maybe. That does sometimes happen.
He replies with such understanding, it's as if the burnt-out room...
You dropped these. Are you okay to proceed? Good.
The Ledger of Failure and Hatred is a special item that can be used both as an interactable and a tool equipped.
It's the ledger you found. Without resistance or sound, the two panels move against each other. The compartment is now. The words just crossed your mind. Who do you think? It's slightly.
Yes?
So you tried to kill Kuno's girl? What's up with that? You want to talk about it? Do this shit again, and Kuno's gonna climb in your... Kuno knows where you sleep. The pig who fucked his window up. But you and Kuno are good for now, pals. And you're back in business with the Kuno. Now what is it? Kuno doesn't... Fuck does Kuno care? You found Kuno's secret door to Kuno's secret shack. It was closed for 5,000... Shit. Get the...
You can't do that, Kuno.
Pigs can't displace. Can't. How did you like it in there, pig old boy? Kuno's got a lot of cool shit there, right? That's where Kuno gets his daily hit of a...
Bet you'd like to ride the lightning too, wouldn't you? You feel tired and old.
Oh, that? Kuno decapitates pigs. That's just a Kuno demo tape. Yeah, Kuno plays on snuff radio, fucks pigs, live, fucks their heads off. It's a vitamin pig. Don't you know anything?
You could use some.
Yeah, it's the mag. You fucking need that shit to stay on top of your game.
Oh, don't teach him, Kuno. He's gonna use it against you, Kuno.
You're not getting this, pig. It completely takes away the hangover. It's like...
Fuck you, pig. Don't do mag. You're gonna OD and you're gonna fuck it.
Is it? You got pretty fucked. Kuno's surprised you've still got your head after all. Don't sweat it, drunk pig. Kuno will keep your nasty secrets. Kuno...
He's saying you climbed up there. He probably... Yet, that conclusively explains...
Of course you fucking can. How do you think Kuno made all the docky boys his gimps? Just gotta fly, pig. Not for you, pig. Kuno can't wait.
Kuno can't wait.
That's all there is to it then. Don't be a pansy.
Good call, Pigmeister. Right, pig. This is where Kuno plays with his little wooden choo-choo. What do you want with it? Yeah, Kuno doesn't know shit about that. That shit is beneath Kuno. Listen, listen. Kuno doesn't care about this small... Kuno could hook you up with some sweet rags. Shit like Kuno's wearing. Your size, good price. 500 real. Look, Kuno ain't seen shit lying around, except for...
The lieutenant remains silent, but his expression couldn't say, "I told you so," any louder.
Whatever. Kuno was trying to help you, but you're too fat for falling anyway, pig. The fuck? A mug in the trash. Is this about the fucking clothes again? Yeah, Kuno sees where this is going. Kuno's got that fast brain. You saying...
I can't hear you, Kuno. Speak loud.
Shit, that's tense. Someone's going to the beat-down basement, huh? Mug guy gonna get... Kuno doesn't know who put that shit in there. And if he did...
Tell the Kuno who it was. He's curious. He likes...
Stop turning into a pig, Kuno. They're trying to get you hooked on the snitching.
Yeah, get your bacon shit away. Kuno doesn't like to be seen with the popo. Get your shit. Look at that fucking shit. You're trying to get Kuno... Fuck does Kuno know? Kuno's...
The lieutenant takes a quick note.
It's a trap, Kuno. Don't climb it.
Dunno. Keep that gardener used to wear...
Kipped is a pejorative term used to describe people of South Seminese or Erie-Uppergite descent. It used to be a common...
Look, Kuno doesn't explain shit. Kuno just says shit.
Yeah, what was she doing in the greenhouse in March anyway? What kind of guard? Yes, it seems suspicious. You don't like things being like that. Suspicious.
Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. Yeah? Yeah, whatever. Kuno doesn't give a shit. The fuck do you want with... Good call, Pigmite. Kuno doesn't fucking care.
can't believe it's snowing again. It felt like springtime. Well, this might be the last snow we get. Snow has nutrients in it. Helps.
Yes, think about the cute grandma, not the weird snow. All you can see is the fact that her skin is a different...
What does that mean? I don't know. Whatever's on the radio, I guess.
She seems more perplexed than cornered.
Okay.
What are you waiting for? Ask about the disco already. You need some fresh...
We should probably proceed with our business in Martinez.
Can I help you? Thanks. I hope you found what you were looking for. How strange. I certainly didn't put them there. Sylvie had the keys before I got here, and I can vouch for her. I can vouch for all my stuff. None of the trash collection service, CS...
Ah, the elusive CS Municipal. I doubt we'll be able to track down who was sent here last and when. This will have to thank you anyway.
I think fugue states are more your forte. Yes?
There they both are. Two identical shoes, both copiously like two baby crocodiles. Good, they're balanced, comfy. Feels like the only good... You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the living shit. Your Mesolimbic reward pathway. Who knows what you are? A monster. A murder. How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette. Good. Thinking. And when you're done thinking about them, plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses. The door is closed. There is no... You hear the shower beat. A tremendous loneliness comes over you. Everybody in the world is doing something without you. The door is indifferent. This door can only be opened. Still no answer. Still, the lieutenant, he doesn't like where this is.
Can I help you?
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone.
All right. Ready? I turn, you press start. It's next.
He's downplaying his excitement. The lieutenant, the dashboard lights up with orange glow. The rounds beneath, the lights unfold with a little click, casting.
There you go. I'll turn them off from the remote once you're done. We just need to stand in front of the machine now.
As you hold your ledger's clip under the headlamp, an iridescent hologram appears.
There she is. Revachol West.
Around the borders of the watermark are dozens. No, the rectangular watermark is overlaid with the logo of the RCM, and yet the major you catch a faint glimmer from a broken beer bottle in the distance. Sounds.
Ah, Martinez at night. Let me see. Right here. No, it does not.
There are many of them, and they are. The first row has 18. Not bad for what? You don't even. The next is the longest. There are so many, it's hard to count. The last row has 3 perfect. That's it.
Those are perforations. They represent your record as an officer of the RCM. They are your statistics, as it were. I should have...
Alpha male officers who are proud of their numbers.
The first row represents your years of service. 18 years. Okay, not bad at all. What did you do before you volunteered? That's what it says. I might have guessed even longer based on your age. What did you do all those bliss? Yes, that does seem quite likely. This next row, the one that wraps all the way around, is your number of closed cases. Wow, more than 200. It's quite a lot, even for someone who's been on the force for nearly 2 decades. Usually, clearing more than 10 cases a year puts you in the 90th percentile of all RCM officers. Call it what you want. You are a valuable right. Those are your confirmed kills. You've got precisely 3 perforations. For an RCM officer, especially Precinct 41, there are certain officers who treat their kills like some kind of ghoulish game. If they do happen to solve... But it seems as though you are, or at least were, one of the good ones. So we have that to be thankful for. Everyone has their own method of coping. Some more effective. Personally, I find it helps to keep up a few hobbies. Oh, this and that. Let's not get into it now. Why not gardening? You've already got the gloves.
It's meant in earnest. Please don't mistake it for a jab.
If you want to pour out the booze you've been carrying around on duty, I'm certainly not going to stop you, as you will. Yes.
It's not a problem for him to stay. The lieutenant nods.
Right. I'll go turn off the lights.
You can now see your statistics on your journal.
We should think about calling it a day, maybe. You should take care of that, then. Let's talk to him anyway. An officer of the RCM shouldn't be sleeping.
Though he finds this situation frustrating,
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got it? Does that arrangement include you paying me what we already agreed you owe me?
I understand your predicament as the manager. I feel I must remind you that we are here to conduct an important investigation that...
Forgive me for saying this, but your colleague seems more... I mean no offense. It's really nothing personal. I just have to protect the interests of this establishment. Good luck trying to use it.
Draconian measures.
All the locks have an electronic component. They have to be unlocked down here with a master key. Not until you bring me the money.
Okay. I might have something in my motor carriage we can use. When you're...
I really didn't want to resort to this.
Oh, Lieutenant. We're done here.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio.
I have something here we could sell. Look in the back.
Transport enclosure. Regular people just call it the cage. The cage at the back of the motor carriage looks rather uncomfortable.
I confiscated this for a little while back. We can take them to the pawn shop down by the Martinez Canal.
The lieutenant nods as you take the spinners.
Hello, hello. Let me know if traffic. I'm sorry, officer, but I don't drive. Now that I think about it, I do remember hearing a thunderous noise the other...
That sure narrows down our list of suspects.
He shakes his head, slowly.
Yes, we'd like to sell these hubcaps.
Roy takes the hubcaps from the lieutenant.
Yes, these are very, very good. Did you defraud some?
No one was defrauded or jumped, I assure you.
Of course. I meant no offense.
Thank you. Here's the 70 real you need for your bill. Do not waste it.
The rest is for him. To compensate for the windfall is a small...
Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon, a typical Martinez streetlight. A small cabinet on the wall is filled with various medicine bottles. A colorful display of cigarettes and alcohol bottles.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes.
The tear machine stands in the corner. Your bottles clunk into the machine, and the money appears with a satisfying... Do you know what you should do with that money, kiddo? You see several packaged raincoats. The packages are small, discreet,
Is this about the questions again? A warehouse? I don't know.
She looks up.
Fine. For it doesn't have a warehouse. Just a little back room here.
Can I help you? Yes. Have you got... Well? Great. Thank you, officer. That's all I wanted. Payment for services rendered. If you continue to stay here, the electronic lock to your room has been disabled till 9 p.m. tomorrow. Please pay for each night in advance starting tomorrow.
I'll take a room here too.
Of course. Always happy to have officers from the RCM as guests.
Yes?
This is the door to the room.
Just a moment. We should talk about our progress on the
The air outside is brisk. The lieutenant is silent for a moment. He listens to the...
Now then, we should talk about the investigation. But I also feel you're a bit hazy on the RCM. Our role here... I have a cigarette every night when I go over my notes.
Oh man, he looks so devastatingly cool with that cigarette.
You mean this? This isn't cool. It's an unnecessary trial of will and unhealthy.
Keeping the habit within the parameters he's given himself takes a lot of focus. It would be easier to see.
I apologize, but I only brought one with me. I have exactly one cigarette every night while going over my notes. Yes, it's been a long and eventful day. Well, we inspected the victim's body, so I would say our initial inspection was very thorough. Then you shot him in the chest, which was...
By not ideal, he means he can't believe he let you try that trick and would be angry if he didn't feel the outcome was partly his responsibility.
Being sober also tends to help with precision. But we weren't able to find the union leader, Evrard Claire. We didn't talk to the Wild Ones rep. Above all, though, today was exhausting. What's with all the running?
I have a really good theory about why you're running so fast, son. Just you wait until you get up tomorrow.
It's impressive, especially for a man your age. And nice shoes, by the way. I like the green. Goes with the orange.
The dying lights of the city shimmer below, slowly, like luminous. This soldier is the highlight of the day for me, he thinks. This little stick right here.
They really don't like us here. And the mouth on that kid. You know, it's our fault for leaving this place to the dogs, to the Union, to the company, not daring to come here more often. This place has fallen between the cracks. We run this city. West of the river is RCM land. It's incredibly hard. Human beings are. But we are in control, and it's worth it. The organization works. Me too. But I wouldn't count on any drastic changes in our lifetimes. They're quite limited, actually. The power officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia exercise most frequently is imposing fines of up to 1,000 real for offenses, in accordance. The RCM's primary role is to ensure safety. We are not really supposed to. Yes, although indirectly. As citizens, officers of the RCM have been known to take bribes of less than the prescribed fine amount. We can arrest people, of course, but rather than bringing someone indirectly, it's preferable to serve a station closely. It prevents confusion and You can't. Those who don't show up become fugitives, though, and have fewer legal rights when they are eventually caught. It's about, as you may have gathered from the fact that we are expected to carry a record of our kills, like the one in your watermarks, we are permitted to use whatever force is necessary, and strongly admonished not to abuse that power. You have to supply compelling evidence for why it was necessary to use. Not a good position to be in, by the way. Internal Affairs handles these cases thoroughly, by cross-examining you for inconsistency. We don't convict. We arrest and send them to coalition government courts in Courant and La Delta. The prosecution works off our testimonies and records, which is why it's paramount to keep them. The coalition government. The RCM was formed by the coalition government to restore order in the international zone after the revolution. So we did. Or perhaps it is better to say we were allowed to form. It's a point of contention whether the citizens of Revachol or the coalition government founded the RCM. Be sentimental if you like. Either way, the Moralinton leases us the right to keep the peace in this city.
Or if they think you do.
The Moralist International are the world's largest political organization. You know who they are. They have been running this place after the revolution failed. Okay. There are a union of center-left and center-right parties across the Real Belt. Our coalition government is just one of its What do they believe in? They are Dolorians. They believe they continue the humanist project set forth by Her Innocence.
Those others say they continue the humanist project set forth by Dolores.
Interesting question. It's a blue forget-me-not. Their motto is love, compassion, self-discipline. I think you can...
Something kind, something almost, something ominous, something even a little feminine, but in a strict manner.
The Moralinton are a fact. I try not to have opinions on facts until they change. And it doesn't...
It is more than that. There's some kind of affection in him.
Yes, I did. When I was younger. In my 20s, I considered myself a moralist.
That's another leitmotif.
But the years have changed that. I don't know what I believe in now. No, I believe a historic figure, the author of the modern age. You will have to look elsewhere. Do you? We are in what is called the twilight of international law. The laws we claim to enforce come from the MI. Without them, we are simply vigilantes. Then you will adore Martinez. For many of these people, the Union especially, vigilantes is precisely what we are. Personally, I don't enjoy... Yeah, it's getting very cold now. Let's go. Yes?
The fan is spinning. fan is... The lights are on. The blades come squeaking to a halt. The fan stands still. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. The bed is cold and not particularly inviting.
The option to go to sleep becomes available every night after 9 p.m.
The sheets feel at once coarse and clammy against your skin. The bed sags beneath your weight as you stretch out and finally close your... And then sleep doesn't come. Obviously, you're in bed. Maybe it's the bed's fault. Its synthetic filling has separated and it barely covers your toes, stretching over your... Under your thrumming eyelids, you see a dizzying array of colors. It's a little better. Colors, scenes, and half-formed phrases. Something to do with... What was it that the lieutenant said? Your breathing steadies. A great silence washes over you until your eyelids twitch in your...
Do you remember the scent of your child? What it says on the can, Harry? Answer the question. Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? That's right, funky baby. And you just stood there. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have... No, it's gone. You found Elizium. Everything. The Pale and the Useless. On the... You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6. No, Harry. You were just talking to yourself. You'll be back in those cold, stinky boys. You're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that. You're trying to what? I can't hear you. This is just a word dream now. Jumbled up garbage.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something... Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So it's time to go to work in the shit factory.
Good going, buddy. Oh, just a dream. You have ones like that. All you mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is. It's just that your heart is finally pumped. You're too weak to say no now. Waking up is the worst part. Maybe somewhere down the line you could decline. Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up. All its power, man. It's professionalism. It makes you feel like you're... Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest. Suit yourself. Slow, sad shell, man. The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting, but it's your... The door is closed.
Looks like we can get to work at once. The Union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to... I mean, ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the men who drink beer for breakfast. There's talk of an armed wing of the Union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. Everything points to the Dock Workers Union. The belt used for... which may, of course, all be wrong. But I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night. One loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth... In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them.
But aren't you
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place.
Let me handle this. Officer Discotheque? Still wondering if we...
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
Sure. You were curious. I'm not a gardener, by the way. I'm a legal... So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think that's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye...
It doesn't matter if you recognize our...
She says nothing. Her glare...
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have... What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your authority. What are we going to do to you? The Union isn't going to do anything.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people. But with aggressive, you make your living in
So you were spying on us, and now you...
Listen, you moral intern lackeys. You're a mob, enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the...
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders. Look, a comedian. Do your job. Ask your questions.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
This is where you say your bed.
Detective.
Oh, this is a...
You're sure taking your time.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff.
Time to go to work.
Easy, boys. These janitors...
You might want to start asking your questions now.
The pretty boy. You got...
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with...
Container belt? Like we used... Because we took it from the harbor where we work. Then we went out back and used it to hang him. We did this. Together. All of us. Until goddamn...
No. These 7 honest men have equally come forth. They told you what happened so that you don't waste any more of your time.
All 7 together. They're diluting responsibility. It's an anti...
How many people have you sent?
Chairs électriques is the method of capital.
Or send them to Reunion to rot. For 20 years. For life. Oh, so you are just a simple, well-meaning man, eh? Ever been in...
He's clearly been in solitary...
So is hanging a man, slowly, without breaking his neck.
Are you deaf? There will be no singling anyone out. Do you think you could do that? Do you think you could arrest them all?
A trick question. Don't let her lead the conversation.
That's for the courts in Les Jardins to decide. What you can do right now is go back to your...
No. We'll stay here and discuss what happened that night.
You don't have to keep answering his questions.
I know, Lizzie. Relax. We killed him last Sunday night.
Known him? Yeah!
Quiet. He came around about 3 weeks ago when that Pines Cow...
By the Pines Cow, you mean the representative for Wild Pines? The shipping company?
No. I mean the Pines Cow. The stupid-ass cow they sent in to fuck us over. Why don't you ask her about the pretty boy? I'm sure she has interesting things to say when you ask.
That's enough insinuation for today, Titus. Officer, your interview is drawing to an end. Don't waste your last questions.
Why? 'Cause he was worthless mercenary scum. And he stepped out of line.
What kind of...
The kind that shows up when you start a strike.
A live grenade. Right here in...
This one has a special gripe with him coming here.
I can't prove it, but I know he was sent by the Wild Pines. They hire merc shit like that. Story of every wrong. He harassed women, raped one.
From rape to harassment to threats of violence. He regrets mentioning it.
To kill us all if we don't open the gates, if we don't let the scabs in, if we don't bend over. That was before.
Yeah, he said it was his favorite joint now. Started coming here every night. Drinking, grabbing girls.
He grabbed someone?
Yeah. This girl's on the mic. A beautiful girl. Young. Gets into the second verse. Show me your cunt. Why don't you show me your cunt? Then, he gets knocked on the head with a wine bottle. Doesn't even fall down.
Aren't you fucking listening?
Yeah, me and Eugene got a rap.
There's something. Seems like they don't want to talk about that rape Titus mentioned. Why not? This is...
No. You're not getting a name.
There's nothing you can do for now. He's stonewalling you.
We hanged him up by his neck.
Didn't they teach you anything?
This is where an autopsy would come in handy. You have to work with what you know.
Titus.
We overpowered him. Dragged his unconscious.
Then we left him for seagulls.
Make them a bit more uncomfortable first. Then see if it all adds up. Actually, they're admirably, surprisingly composed. The entire room. Given how many questions you've lobbed their way. Well, this one. But he's always fidgeting, so don't get your hopes up.
Weren't you fucking listening? The fucker came to...
With numbers, asshole. How do you think? You're right, Lizzie. I've done it.
No, he hasn't. Not yet.
Like what, copper? Yeah, lawman. Why don't you?
It's almost an anthropological sight, watching him.
Not in the arresting mood?
By your side, the lieutenant keeps his hand away from his easy. Walk back from the provocation. They're armed, and they outnumber us. The lieutenant tries to establish eye contact with you.
Wise move. You made the right choice there. Now...
Nothing. Your investigation here is done. Leave Martinez, go back to your stations where you belong.
I think we're going to stick around, thanks. I've done this job for long enough to know that people don't just confess to first-degree murder. Even if it...
Good luck with that. You've heard everything a rent-a-cop is gonna hear from us. Real law officials. You're lucky you did.
Forget about their games. You've mapped out the characters. Reading the footprints in the yard should be easier now.
No. Eyes here. You got business with my boys. You got...
He understood what you were doing.
Yeah. You fuck with the Hardy Boys, you fuck with Titus.
Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. No one's...
Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man. We don't mind.
Yeah.
Easy, fellas. We got company.
Too late. You already scanned the room. You got of the actors here. You could take another look at the tracks in the mud on the crime scene. Compare it to these guys.
Again.
Good one, Titus.
About fucking time. Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Yes?
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. 8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boot? 1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like... is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. 2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced... 3. Hobnailed work. 4. Standard work boot. 5. Another standard work boot. 6. Light as air. Better late than never, detective. The whole... 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The 8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole...
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy... That's all? Interesting.
Note to self. This would be a good question to ask Titus. Where's the 8th man?
I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy boy. The one with his... Yes, well, he did look a bit like a rat. You're right. Do you think those... I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not. 200. This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavy...
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Possibly, yes.
But why?
Yes, they could have used a makeshift stretcher or just march him up to the gallows. Even easier to carry on a stretcher, or between 2 men. Anyway, it's for future consideration. Interesting. Let's name it the Odd Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was someone operating a workbench with a pedal, like a joint.
He regrets it the moment he says it.
No, it's not. Forget I said. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right. We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect.
Mm-hmm.
A week, maybe? 7 days.
It is not
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days be...
correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good...
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the... Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction.
Indeed. They all...
So far, so good. Only one...
Of course, there were 8 tracks, but there are only 7 Hardy Boys.
Mm-hmm. Which one is missing, do you think? I'm going to say it was our old soul. Yes, I doubt the Hardys are going to tell us who this person is. For now, it's best if we just keep our...